It's funny how sometimes a single political comment, something that seems like just a throwaway line, can actually pull back the curtain on a really deep crack in the whole system. We're not just talking about one election here. This is about how power in Washington has, well, fundamentally broken down. So let's trace it back.
Okay, so it all starts with this recent comment from Donald Trump speculating about a potential 2028 presidential ticket. But here's the thing, let's forget about the election for a second. This quote is really just a doorway for us to understand the gridlocked system that any president, whether it's now or in the future, is forced to deal with. And we're talking about a structure of power that, honestly, goes way beyond the campaign trail. First, let's look at what some are calling the handbrake election. It's this idea that when you have a divided government, it doesn't just slow things down a bit, it's like someone yanks the emergency brake on the entire administration. So, here's the lay of the land. The political stakes right now are just incredibly high. Even a small shift in power, say just in the House of Representatives, could grind a president's legislative agenda to a complete halt. And that could kick off a total firestorm of investigations, maybe even impeachment proceedings. It sounds like a huge, massive change is coming, right? But that leads to the really critical question. If we look beyond all the political drama and the screaming headlines, does swapping which party controls Congress actually change what laws get passed or what policies get made? The answer? Well, it might actually surprise you. And the reason for that, the reason things don't really change as much as you'd think, it all comes down to this one incredibly powerful rule that really acts as the engine of Washington's gridlock, the 60-vote requirement. You'd think, right? 51 votes out of 100 senators. That should be enough to pass a law. It's a simple majority. But nope. In today's Washington, the real magic number isn't 51 at all. It's 60. And this is all because of a procedure called closure. Now, what that basically means is that to even get a bill to a final up or down vote, you first need 60 senators to agree to just stop talking about it. If you can't get those 60 votes, the other side can just debate it forever, and the bill never, ever gets a vote. So this is how that roadblock actually works in practice. A party can introduce a new bill. They might even have, say, 55 senators who support it, which is a clear majority. But if they can't get to that 60-vote mark to end the debate, the bill's dead. It's effectively blocked from ever getting a final vote. And this supermajority thing has become the standard for almost everything. And look, this isn't some old, dusty, historical quirk we're talking about. This is a modern reality that has absolutely slammed the system into what one analysis calls serious roadblocks, making it pretty much impossible for Congress to pass any major laws. So, what happens if the part of government that's designed to make laws can't actually make them? Well, power doesn't just vanish into thin air. It shifts. It all gets concentrated right into the president's powerful pen. So on one hand, you have a legislative branch that's just paralyzed, totally tied up by its own rules and all the partisan fighting. And then, stepping right into that power vacuum is the executive branch. All that authority that was supposed to be spread out across hundreds of elected representatives gets focused into one single tool, the executive order, or the president's powerful pen. And this is what creates these huge pendulum shifts. One president gets into office and puts these sweeping new policies into place using executive orders. Then, 4 or 8 years later, a new president from the other party comes in and literally, with the stroke of a pen, erases all of it and puts their own policies in place. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is actually a law. It's all just temporary directives. And this is the really crucial point here. This isn't just some quirky little feature of modern politics. It's a fundamental, tectonic shift in how the American system of government was ever designed to work in the first place. I mean, you have to remember, the whole reason the United States was founded was based on a simple, incredibly powerful idea. We broke off from England because we didn't like having a king. That deep-seated fear of a powerful, centralized executive, that shaped the entire structure of the government. And what we're seeing now is a complete inversion of that original vision. The strongest branch was supposed to be Congress. Today, it's the executive. The source of power was supposed to come from stable laws passed by lots of people. Today, it comes from temporary orders from just one person. And accountability, which was designed to be direct and frequent, has become way more indirect and a whole lot slower. And this isn't just some abstract political science debate. This has massive real-world consequences. These constant policy swings create huge instability at home as businesses and people have to deal with rules changing every few years. And for the rest of the world, for our allies and our adversaries, it creates this profound uncertainty about where America even stands from one administration to the next. So, think about where we started. A simple quip about the 2028 election, and it led us all the way here. A system that was literally designed to create stable, lasting laws through compromise has turned into a system defined by temporary, one-sided power. And it's all because Congress has, for the most part, just lost its ability to do its job. And that's the critical takeaway we're left with. When a system built for debate and durability is instead run by a series of temporary orders, stability itself is what gets sacrificed. The real long-term cost here isn't just political gridlock. It's the slow erosion of a government that was actually built to last.